Jesus. Bless you, Lord. Yes. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Evelyn, also known as If You're Blessed. Today is another beautiful episode of Let's Talk About the Post. And today's post is also by Charles Spurgeon, who is known as the Prince of Preachers. Yes. So let's get right into today's post. So today's post says that believer, be much in solitary prayer, especially in times of trial. Family prayer, social prayer, prayer in the church will not suffice. These are very precious, but the best beaten spice will smoke in your censer in your private devotions, where no ear hears but God's. Wow, this is very powerful. Like, there is so much to be said about this post. So I'll just take the last part. It says, these are very precious, but the best beaten spice will smoke in your censer, in your private devotions, where no ear hears but God's. Wow, that's very powerful. That's by Charles Spurgeon anyways, yes. So in today's post, we are talking about prayer, and we're talking about solitary prayer. Solitary prayer, that is in isolation or alone time. Prayer without other people, prayer just by yourself. Okay, when we talk about solitary, it means you are in isolation, like what is happening in this pandemic. People are in isolation. That means they are living alone, they are staying alone, and they are not with anybody. So this post is also talking about we having our private prayers. Okay, in times of trials, a lot of people tend to run to people, a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, a friend to just comfort you. But this post tells us that when we get into trouble, or when we have trials, or when we are facing difficult times, things that we feel like nobody else can help us, we should know that God is always there to listen to us. Okay, whatever we say to God, He hears us. Okay, He hears us. And so we should cultivate that habit of praying, and not just praying anywhere or with anybody, but then praying in solitude, praying by ourselves, not just running to pastors and prophets and apostles here and there. That because actually, let's take a look at Matthew chapter 6 verse 6. Okay, it says that, but when you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret. Let's just take that verse again. When you pray, go into your room and pray in secret, and your Father who hears in secret will hear you. So that's what this post is talking about, that we should cultivate the habit of praying by ourselves when we get into trouble. Church prayer, family prayers, and social prayers are very important as well. When we all come together and we have a common goal and we pray about it, together our prayers are answered. But individually, when we face problems or when we face trials, what are trials anyway, somebody will ask. Trials are like tests. To the believer, a trial is a test, okay, to test you of your faith, of how much your belief in God is actually. You don't get trials and come out of it and still have doubt, or you don't face trials and come out and people will say that, okay, well, you didn't really prove anything to us or show anything to us. Okay, so when you face trials, it's actually a test that you should come out stronger, or wiser, and people should know that indeed this trial that you went through has really shaped your life for the better. Okay, so when we face trial, the Bible tells us that we should go in solitude, we should go in a secret place and pray. Jesus did the same thing. When he was with his disciples and he was healing the sick and turning water into wine and curing all sorts of diseases, normally when people come to him, or before he does those things, he will go in solitude. He will go to a secret place. He will go to a mountain. He will go to a place where his disciples will not follow him, and then he will pray by himself, because he knows that what he is about to do is a very great thing, to perform miracles. So he will need extra strength and extra grace from God. So he goes in solitary, he prays, and then he comes out and he does all these wonderful miracles, for people. So it's the same habit that we have to cultivate, praying in solitude, praying in private, and we shouldn't be like the Pharisees that stand outside and in the streets, proclaiming, yeah, we are fasting, and so everybody should know that you are fasting. Normally when you do such things and people don't see a change in your life, you try to say that God didn't answer your prayer or something, but that is not what it is. Okay, when you are fighting for something for yourself, you have to try and pray by yourself. It's good to go to your pastors for counseling, for guidance. Sometimes the Bible is a very huge book. Nobody can read the Bible in a day. Nobody can use 10 years or 20 years to say that, okay, you know what, I know every single thing and understand everything the Bible says. So it's good. Sometimes you have to go to your pastors, you have to go to your prophets, they will give you guidance, they will counsel you, they will show you where to look, where to look for, the promises of God, where to look for all those things that will help and guide you in your prayer. Okay, the prayer that you are praying in solitude, they will help you. So that doesn't mean that you don't have to go to pastors, or you don't even have to go to your friends for counseling. You can, but the spices are always there to make things better, to enhance the taste or to make something very good. So the spice in your prayer is that you have to pray in solitude. You have to pray alone, privately, in your own closet. That is where you pray when you have trials, or when you face trials, or when you face problems and you feel like you're shutting down, or you are weak and you can't handle it. But with God, all things are possible, and your prayers indeed will go a long way if you pray privately. Let's take a look at this verse as well. It's in Luke chapter 5 verse 16. Okay, it says here that, but he would withdraw to desolate places and pray, or to desolate places and pray. This verse is talking about Jesus Christ. Like I was saying earlier on, normally if he knows that he's about to do great things, or he wants to do miracles, or perform miracles, let me say, yeah, he will withdraw to a place all by himself and pray. So we have to cultivate that habit of praying alone, because if you want to do great things, you have to learn to pray by yourself. Pray in your own closet. It's good to get counseling, it's good to get guidance, but we have to cultivate that habit. Together, if you are praying for a common cause, it's very helpful, it's very important. As a church, we come together, we pray for the strength of the church, we pray for our bishops, we pray for our pastors. Together, if we do those things, they will suffice, okay? But if you face a trial alone, you cannot go and stand in front of a church and ask all of the church members to pray for you alone for what you are facing, okay? We have to learn that as well. Okay, so I'm going to take this verse again from Ephesians chapter 4 verse 6 to 7. Okay, it says here that do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God. Okay, let your request be made known to God. So to sum all these things up, prayer is really important. You don't have to be anxious, you don't have to fear, you don't have to panic. Okay, when you face a problem, when you face trials, when things are not going the way you expect them to, you just have to pray to God. Do not be anxious, don't cry, don't start questioning God about whatever is going on in your life. You don't have to be anxious, you have to pray to God. Okay, so that's what Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 tells us. Okay, that by prayer and supplication, we should make our request known to God. Let God know what you want from him, let God know what you expect from him. Okay, and with the plans that he has for your life, it will align with what you expect, and then everything will work out for your good. I've brought this post to an end. I'm going to take it for the last time so that we can all think about it for the last time. So it says, believer, be much in solitary prayer, especially in times of trial. Okay, so that statement, the especially, that means we have to pray in solitary at all times, for our own selves, for our own good, for our families. But when you face trials, especially, that is when you have to really pray in solitary. Okay, family prayer, social prayer, and prayer in the church will not suffice alone. They alone cannot help you with whatever you face in your life. Okay, and that solitary prayer are the spice that will smoke in your censer, in your private devotions. Okay, so where no ear hears but only God can hear you. Thank you for watching this episode as well. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.